Sometimes my inner degenerate voice calls on me and says, Max, you should be making money right now, doing absolutely nothing. And typically I can fight these intrusive thoughts, but young APY, when he sees something he's interested in, he's gonna invest, no matter what. See, there's this new trend called farming as a service. You can think of it as part hedge fund, part DAO, all degenerate. Basically, you're investing in a token that then invests in complicated DeFi strategies, so you don't have to learn how to do it. It addresses the issue that the biggest potential gains in crypto are the hardest to make for anyone who isn't an expert in the space. Hold on, enough of this nerd shit. Let's invest already. $2,000 into MCC, why not? Okay, going back to the nerd stuff, here's an example. You buy $1,000 of a farming as a service token. First, you'll receive a tax up front. This can vary, but for our example, we'll say 8%. That tax is sent to the treasury and or existing token holders as reflections. The reflection is just a payment to holders as an incentive to keep them holding. The money sent to the treasury can be used to buy back and burn crypto or invest in yield farming opportunities and earn the entire community more money. In this case, yield farming is just a blanket term for simply earning interest on digital currencies. This could be lending, staking, or farming. Making money with the money invested. The earnings from yield farming are then sent back to you in the form of passive income. Now, this can happen in a variety of ways. It could be paid out to you in additional native tokens, stablecoins, paid in Ethereum, or really whatever payment method they can dream up. Then the idea is, as more people join, the treasury grows, they pretend it's not some kind of elaborate Ponzi scheme, and you are rewarded even more for being a long-term holder. Now, where it gets scary is returns, as high as 1% daily in some cases. Of course, this can vary, but the higher the advertised returns, the more risk you can assume you have. Upfront, a big concern is token value. Getting investment returns on the treasury balance is wonderful, but if I invest thousands of dollars and that token that I'm investing into goes down in value, I could easily lose more than anything I would potentially gain in interest from the treasury balance. This is the same issue that we had with DAOs. Now, back to that token that young APY decided to YOLO into, MCC. When you buy MCC, you get an 8% tax. Half of that tax is distributed among current MCC holders, kind of like a dividend, but they definitely don't want to call that a dividend because that would be a big no-no according to the SEC. The other half goes to the treasury. That's what we just discussed, money that the project can use to invest and hopefully make the holders even more money. Buying this token feels a little bit weird. It's probably not like anything you've done before because right at the gate, you lose that 8%. Invest $1,000, say goodbye to $80, plus some significant price slippage. Because these projects are small, there's not much liquidity, and this means you're likely gonna have to overpay for tokens, meaning your $1,000 might only be $900 after tax and slippage. So right up front, you have to make a lot of money just to break even. And to be honest, I'm already a little bit nervous about this because, believe it or not, I don't particularly like losing money, even if it's for your entertainment and enjoyment purposes. And this is a good spot to say that this is not financial advice. This video is a test to see how these things work, not me saying you should invest in anything that I mentioned. It is high risk. Now, one saving grace is that MCC is what's called hyperdeflationary. Now, this just means the token supply is rapidly decreasing, and this helps push up prices. Since MCC launched just a few months ago, the team has burned 2.6% of the entire supply. We'll check in on how that investment does later, but due to the high risk here, it's probably best to diversify. So you remember a while back, young APY, he bought into 5 DAOs in an attempt to purchase his second Lambo. That didn't happen. Well, 3 of those DAOs lost money, 2 of them did fairly well. They did okay. So I was looking into other farming as a service projects and digging into the research. Fuck your research, I'm buying anyways. D3 is another project that just launched. The lead developer actually called the Squid Game fiasco as a rug pull before it happened. And this, of course, caught my attention as a fellow squid connoisseur.
This is a second project that I'm calling out for a slow rug pull.
Now, D3 is slightly different than the last option for a few reasons. They are technically a staking as a service. This is like farming as a service, but you must stake your token in order to receive those rewards, kind of like planting a financial seed. Once you stake the DeFi token, you earn yield in farming rewards in 2 ways. You get more DeFi tokens, and you also get weekly payouts in the stablecoin BUSD. Let's say you're an investor like me and you buy $2,000 of D3. Taxes are taken out 12%. whatever. The nerds running this thing invest in all kinds of projects for me. And then I earn staking rewards and dividends on top of that. It's like earning part of a company's profits. Yeah, you know, that sounds great. The only problem is I checked APY's investment and his $2,000 already dropped to $1,100 in just 3 days. I mean, that's a big hole to dig out of. Is this fast stuff even gonna be around in a year or two in order to let the interest actually do its job and return that money? It's all way too early to tell. This is all brand new. All I know is if the price doesn't recover, you may never hear from young APY again. Right now, D3 has a tiny market cap, which means a lot of room for the price to go up, but also means a whole lot of risk. One of the beauties of this whole farming as a service idea is you get a lot of options to mess around with. ReFi is DeFi reimagined, as they say. And here's how it works. You buy ReFi, the token, they tax you, they farm out on multiple blockchains, yield farming, and then they pay you out in Ethereum. If you've ever farmed across multiple blockchains, you'll agree that it's a bit of a hassle, let's be honest. There's a whole lot of moving tokens around, swapping, porting, transaction fees. It's about the least user-friendly process ever, except for maybe my local grocery store and trying to order groceries online. That might be worse, but this would be a close second. So a project like this does it for you and ideally can make you a nice return. By buying the ReFi token, done, bought it, now what? Oh, this guy's such a menace. I was explaining what happens if you buy, not telling you to buy. If you buy, you gain access to a basket of DeFi investments, sort of like a DeFi ETF. Basically, the value proposition is, hey, you can go out and farm and stake tokens all around the world of DeFi and keep track of everything yourself, or you can buy our one single token and you never have to think about it and we do all of that for you. So it's a compelling offer if it works. One thing I like about this project is you can see all of their positions directly on their website. There's a little bit more transparency. According to their app, Young APY now owns 0.0029% of the total ReFi treasury, which will earn about $2 per day in total rewards, or about 36% APY. Now, the real question is this really much better than lending out a stablecoin for 15% and not having to worry about all this volatility or banking on someone to do the right investing for you? Lame, you're so lame. Let's get it moving. I have more investments to make. $2,000 into ECC, thank you very much, and $2,000 into ABC. This is not good. He's going to be so broke. Okay, ECC, Empire Chain Capital. Here's how it works. Like all these other fast tokens, there's a tax up front and the money gets invested in the treasury. However, with ECC, you get tokens directly sent to your wallet, which means I don't have to do a thing if I were to buy these things. In my opinion, this is a way better way to do it. I'd rather personally not have to make an additional transaction to claim my profits like some of the other projects here. Doing a 3-day check-in, ECC has so far paid Young APY 51 tokens worth a whopping $3. So we're gonna check back in later with longer results. Now the last project, ABC, which conveniently stands for Alpha Brain Capital, which is quite the name to live up to. Now this team is made up of 6 alpha brains, as they call themselves, who have decent experience in the crypto space. According to the site, this project is promising heavy returns of $32 per day on that $2,000 investment, not including treasury profits. If that's the case, this would mean profit of over $11,000 in the first year on that $2,000 investment. That would be absolutely insane. Like, basically sounds impossible. I guess it's maybe slightly possible, and really time will only tell. Now, there's something that you've got to be wondering, and that is this all just some kind of Ponzi scheme? I mean, when you buy in, you're literally paying a tax that goes to existing holders. And to that, I would say, yeah, it's hard to argue that this isn't some form of a Ponzi similar to a DAO, just maybe not a malicious one. I don't really know. Just remember that this is entertainment, not investing ideas. It's kind of my duty to try these things out so you don't have to.
2 weeks later.
It's been 10 days and the results are in. And usually this is the best time for me. Usually I love this part. Not today. This experiment hurt Young APY. It hurt me. It hurt me. Either way, I'm obligated to be transparent with the results, so let's get on with it. First, the DeFi token. This one did the best, but don't let that fool you because that's a lot like saying you beat a first grader in a foot race. It doesn't mean much. This token had profit of $20 on its yield farming, but the token collapsed in value, losing me $400. And it only gets worse from there. ECC, I lost $603. ReFi, I lost $880. MCC, I lost $887. And Alpha Brain Capital, I lost $1,219. That's not even including the tax that gets taken out when you buy these tokens and when you sell it. These are literally, they're the worst investments I've ever made in my life. And I know that this was an experiment, so we could all learn from this and this will benefit a lot of people, but it stings. Like, I gotta say, it stings. I don't even wanna do the math on how much I lost in total after tax and everything. It's like $6,000 for a YouTube video. And before I started recording, I was just thinking, what am I doing with my life? I just blew $6,000 on a YouTube video. So the problem is this is like a risk sandwich. And I guess that makes me like the salami in the middle that just gets beat up no matter what happens, because it's volatility on top of volatility. I think the idea has weight, making DeFi more accessible. DeFi is a pain. More accessibility would be awesome, but some major changes are needed, in my experience, to make this work and worth the money. Now, the only saving grace for me is I've had other investments do great in the last week. If you want access to my real investments that are thoroughly researched, landing me up more than 100%, and free coaching every single day, make sure to join my Patreon, linked in the description. You'll freaking love it. Also, this video is sponsored, thank God, because check out I Trust Capital, where you can actually place your crypto in a Roth retirement account. That means you can buy, sell, and trade crypto to your heart's content and pay zero capital gains on your wins. This is great for traders. So with a Roth, you pay your tax up front when putting money in the account, and then at retirement, you pay no tax once you start pulling out at age 59 and a half. It's the most simple way to save on capital gains tax. They'll be linked down in the description, and if you open an account, you'll get $100 in free Bitcoin for joining. So that's gonna do it for today. I hope that this was helpful. I really do. And I hope you have a profitable day.